back in 9/11, all of D12 music was banned on radio stations across America.
Why?
Because of it was a lot of songs. They had a 9/11. No, they had a 9/11 list. Because of the temperature and the they just was like, yo, we as America, we healing. We don't want to hear no wild shit to D12. You see what I'm saying? So we didn't. So at the height of, that was our second single off of that album, and we got on a do not playlist.
Wow.
And it got to a point. Now this is where I am going to be the first, and this is Conan O'Brien. When he was on the Tonight Show, he said I was an idiot on his show. But now this is the first, right? We weren't making no money. We were banned, right? And we were doing shows, we were doing like little shows, but it took a hit in our pockets. All of a sudden, this guy named John, he was very affluent in the music scene here. He's from here.
Yes.
He calls me up and says, "Hey, I got a show for you guys." He was like, "Man, I got this guy who wants y'all to do a bar mitzvah. And he's going to pay you guys such and such." It was an extremely crazy number.
Yes.
Extremely. And I took it. And I took the call, but I told my partner Rico at the time, I said, "Man, look, and Rico's like, man, bar mitzvah, D12 will go for it." I was like, and I told him the number. He was like, "Oh, we got to have a group meeting." He says he's willing to come meet us and give us half of the deposit right now in cash.
Yeah.
And this was some some sick ass money. So we say, all right, cool. So we agreed to it. At the time, our office was in Highland Park. So these two big stretch limousines came and picked us up.
Yeah.
And we went to the thing. And it was crazy. It was a surprise. The kid was happy. Everything was cool. Now, we didn't notice at the time, but it's a guy by the name of Gary Graff. He's a writer. Now, his daughter was at the thing. It was at the bar mitzvah. And she comes home and said, "Daddy, D12 was there." He was like, "What?" They weren't there. So I had a relationship with Gary Graff. Gary Graff says, "Mark, did y'all do a bar mitzvah?" I was like, "Yeah, Gary, we did it, man. It's after 9/11. We was on a do not play radio list, and MTV was even giving us." I was like, "Yeah, we took the money." Man, the next day, he posted. He was working at the Free Press. He posted, and then it went to USA Today covered it, and then CNN covered it, and then I was probably on some date. My mom called me and said, "Mark, your name, unless it's another Mark Hicks and another," she was like, "This guy just called you an idiot on the Tonight Show." And I said, "What?" And he was like, and he made a joke when, they did the monologue. He said, "Yeah, D12. And it was like, man, till this day, you can put Mark Hicks and bar mitzvah on Google. Story still comes up.
For real?
Yes.
It's over right now. It's a
No,
pop-up.
literally. And so I'm one of the first managers to book a bar mitzvah.
I want to break down this part
in rap. Now that's that's the first. Yeah, you could do it. I want to put Mark Hicks, and you could even put D12 bar mitzvah, and it's still like ABC News stories. It's still up there.
So Conan O'Brien show, they go over the fact that D12 performed at a bar mitzvah. Why did he call you stupid? Did he say your name specifically?
No, he was like no. It got to a point, and I gotta say this, Interscope hated me. That's what, and it goes back to Interscope, the record companies was like, "What the fuck did you do this for?" Because what happened, USA Today called me.
Yeah.
And everybody was already like, fuck. The record companies had me on a dartboard because they like, this is bad. But then USA Today, they called me, and MTV called me. Even on MTV was like, I think their headline was "Rap Group Walks into a Bar Mitzvah." So they was it was kind of lighthearted. Interscope hated me. I think still to this day, some of them hate me because they like, "Mark, you did, that's bullshit, bar." But, so basically it was a little bit of fun in America because, we had just got out of 9/11, and we talking about 2001, and it was rare to, now everybody's doing bar mitzvahs now. But back then, it was like a rap group especially a Eminem rap group, is doing a bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
That was fucking, we talking about 24 years ago.
Yeah.
And that shit was crazy. So it was like, they were making fun of it. CNN was like, CNN was on some wild shit. CNN was like, we want to fly in and we want to interview all you guys. We was like, now that's where it got to the level. Like, but USA Today and I think maybe MTV and BET, they just wanted like a phone quote. But they was like, CNN was talking about, well, man, we wanted like flying, you know, not that, but it was like for a week, it took on its own legs.
And you know, the thing about Interscope being mad at you guys is like it was a great thing, obviously. In retrospect, like in the long term, it was a great play.
That was good marketing because D12 was always, and you listen to the album because I was telling like some of the guys there, I was like, dude, now at the time, you know, they had like fucking, you know, Premise, they had, you know, No Doubt. You know, and I got, because I was taking a lot of flack, and I said, like, motherfucker, have you listened to the D12 album? This ain't like Weezer or like no, you know, or Nirvana, you know, because that's, you know, we was on, you know, this ain't like no, dude, we're D12. You listen to the album, an artist, it kind of fits the criteria to do some shit, you know.
How much money are we talking here, man? It was 20 years ago. You can't tell us the number of like how much the guy was willing to pay you guys.
It was in the low sixes.
Damn, son. D12 was worth that for
two songs? It was like
for 2 songs?
Dude, it was like, you know, no, but you got to understand, we were breaking barriers because we didn't know, it wasn't no comparables. It wasn't comparative.
You couldn't get somebody else. Like you couldn't get somebody else basically. Like,
and this family, and I don't want them to, but they're very successful. And he just said something, and once again the intermediary he was like, I don't want to blame. He was like, look, man. He was like, we were on territories that wasn't covered.
Yeah, this is new.
This is new, and so, cause man, you take it, CNN and MTV, and Conan O'Brien is covering it, and you know this is before social media, so you know it was serious. So yeah, so he just said like that 6-digit number was no problem.
Did you in your mind know like Interscope relax? This was great for us. Did you know that? Like
I thought of me at the time. I was contributing to my parents, and you know, as a manager back then, I don't know how it is now. I guess it is that now you had a quota to make every month for the artist.
Did that hurt the business?
What you mean?
When you got after the bar mitzvah?
No, I loved it. It was crazy.
So it helped everybody, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying though, I'm thinking that, say, I'm just throwing a number out, that each member, you gotta, in order for them to be happy, they've gotta make like $20,000
a month. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, you know, Rico and we thinking of our quota. I got a number to come up with every month. Well, I should say we did, you know, because it was a management team, you know, Rico and I. So we always had to keep it in the back. We couldn't just be like, oh, I'm just chilling for the month. I want to go to, I just want to go to Brazil and chill. No, you had to make money it was like the mob. You had to make that fee.
Yeah.